A relative clause is a dependent clause that functions adjectively. As a dependent clause, a relative clause contains a subject and a verb, but cannot stand alone as a complete sentence. A relative clause must be combined with an independent clause to create a complex sentence. Here, the professor wrote her own textbook is an independent clause. Who teaches the class is a relative clause. Functioning adjectively, a relative clause gives more information about a noun or a pronoun. A relative clause begins with a relative pronoun. Relative pronouns include who, whom, whose, that, and which. A relative pronoun can function as a subject, as an object, or as a possessive. The relative pronouns who, whom, and whose refer to people. The relative pronouns that and which refer to places and things. The player who wins the match will advance to the finals. The tree that fell over in the storm was over 100 years old. St. Paul College, which is only a few blocks from downtown St. Paul, was voted Best Community College in America in 2010 and 2013. Eric will play the boy whom I defeated last week. The necklace that Mrs. Martinez lost was never found. Ebony's house, which she renovated last year, will be featured in the newspaper this weekend. The relative pronouns in these relative clauses are objects because they do not perform the actions in the clauses. The man whose dog dug up our yard apologized sincerely. A relative clause can be essential or non-essential. A relative clause that is essential provides information that is necessary to understand the overall meaning of the sentence. A relative clause that is non-essential provides information that is not necessary to understand the overall meaning of the sentence. The student who sits next to me in class got a perfect score on the test. The relative clause in this sentence is essential because it identifies which student got a perfect score on the test. Andre, who sits next to me in class, got a perfect score on the test. The relative clause in this sentence is non-essential because the student who got a perfect score has already been identified. Notice that the non-essential relative clause is set off by commas, while the essential relative clause is not set off by commas. The hurricane that devastated New Orleans in 2005 will never be forgotten. The relative clause in this sentence is essential because it identifies the hurricane that will never be forgotten. Hurricane Katrina, which devastated New Orleans in 2005, will never be forgotten. The relative clause in this sentence is non-essential because the hurricane that will never be forgotten has already been identified. Notice that the relative pronoun that begins essential relative clauses, while the relative pronoun which begins non-essential relative clauses. For this reason, relative clauses that begin with which will always be set off by commas. The woman whom I met yesterday is in my sister's class. Catherine Zhang, whom I met yesterday, is in my sister's class. The piano piece that Tanika played at the talent show made everyone cheer. Hungarian Rhapsody, which Tanika played at the talent show, made everyone cheer. Choose the correct relative pronoun to complete the following sentences. Muna works for a company that makes solar panels. Joseph Roth, who tutors in the Writing Center, submitted one of his short stories to a literary magazine. The entire community pitched in to help the Pulaski family, whose house burned down last month. Tony's car, which he bought from his cousin, has been nothing but trouble. The car that Tony bought from his cousin has been nothing but trouble. The woman whom the department plans to hire has taught for 17 years. Once again, a relative clause is a dependent clause that describes a noun or a pronoun that comes right before it. The noun or pronoun that the relative clause describes is part of an independent clause. Combined, an independent clause and a relative clause create a complex sentence. The classroom that I need to find is somewhere on the other side of campus. For more information on relative clauses and other grammar-related topics, go to www.grammargrounds.com.